At 11, we're going to take you inside the Clayton County Jail, but just as Sheriff Levon Allen comes off an election win, those inside says there's time to make some major changes.
You may remember we got a look inside last fall when inmates were reportedly tearing apart their units and turning those scraps into weapons. Tonight, 11 Alive's Angelina Salcido is live outside the jail. And Angelina, you actually had a mother of an inmate come up to you to share her concerns.
And Jennifer, that happened yesterday while we were standing right here covering the runoff race. Beatty's son, like many other inmates, is calling back home asking for help because of the conditions that are in the jail. So we came back here today to see what's changed since we last walked through. Sheriff Levon Allen being very transparent with us, saying nothing major is different. He says it's because county maintenance's agreed fixes are taking too long.
So the bottom half is housing units.
Behind these walls,
3, and then
8 units house nearly 3,200 inmates at the Clayton County Jail. Sheriff Levon Allen is in charge of the system. The inmates know him well and aren't scared to be vocal about their concerns. Their families are concerned too.
Hell.
Mady Sermon's 44-year-old son Andrew is on day 8 inside.
The conditions in the jails, do they care? Who's responsible for that?
As he walks through the jail, Sheriff Allen says he knows her concerns all too well.
If you wouldn't live like this personally, or you don't go home to live like this, you shouldn't require somebody else to live like this.
Water puddles cover the floor where inmates are housed. Pipes are leaking or broken, toilets don't work, and there's rust and mold on the walls.
What's happening in the jail is behind the walls or under the walls.
That's why the sheriff says he asked the county commission for hundreds of thousands of dollars in increments to make fixes to the units inside and fix the security at the jail. When the county overestimated his budget twice, he had to go back to council and ask for more than $14 million, then another $1.6.
The $14 million that was just approved, and he knows this, had nothing to do with any improvements of the jail.
With a win last night, Allen says he's just focused on 3 main issues at the jail.
Before the end of the year, I want all the locks to be repaired.
He also wants to handle overcrowding with nearly 400 to 500 inmates sleeping on the floor and a broken plumbing system too.
I either come down here myself to see it or to fix it, or I get on the phone and make calls to fix it, because things should not take that long to get things done.
Sheriff Allen and I spoke a decent amount about the budget that is going to cost to be able to make these fixes to the jail. He says that the cost has consistently increased because of inflation, the cost for materials, and a decades-old plumbing system that he says needs to be fixed and modernized.
Angelina, we know former Sheriff Victor Hill called out Sheriff Allen back in April, saying there's an issue of overspending. Did you get a chance to ask him about that?
I did, and the sheriff again was transparent there, saying that the overspending that the commission is citing is basically coming from the finance committee's estimate that was projected to be over what he was actually asking for. When we talked about that now, he says that it should be over that, but he has talked to the commission about that moving forward. He also says that it has a lot to do with the fact that they are not properly staffed to handle the amount of inmates that are coming into the jail. He's hoping to have that fixed by July 1st. We're live tonight in Clayton County. Angelina Salcido, 11 Alive.